Hey guys, this is Solo Scriptura here. We're playing the last game of our league. We've done really well in the die rolls, but I don't know if we've kept an opening hand so far that was like pretty good, especially not in game 1. Here's again Fire Blast when I don't really want to see it. Here's Fire Blast again when I don't really want to see it. Yeah, guys, I really don't like Fire Blast. I'm sorry. Gonna go ahead and bottom it, and we'll keep this. Probably should have bottomed to land, but kind of annoyed with Fire Blast right now. These skewers are also just like, bleh. I don't know. I should have probably actually bottomed this. Well, no. Should have probably bottomed a land. Okay, well, if this is Miracles, I'm pretty okay with that. Opponent probably has a Force of Will here or a Swords to Plowshares. I assume it's a Swords to Plowshares. Could be that he sets up a Miracle as well, or it could just be that he's Sneak and Show and we're gonna get beaten up by that. Or it could be that he's running Spell Snare and Legacy for some reason. Silly opponent. Spell Snares for Modern. It's actually not even that good in Modern right now either, but this is probably a one-of in his deck, I would imagine. It doesn't really make sense to be running multiple. It's okay as a one-of, and I do think it's probably an underplayed spell in Legacy, but it's, you know, when everyone's playing mostly one-drops, it's kind of hard to justify it. Delver running Spell Snare. I really don't like that in Delver, because you really, like, only have... please don't get forced. I say you only have, like, you want stuff that's just, like, good no matter what, and Spell Snare's not really one of those cards. Like, you'd much rather that be Spell Pierce so you can defend your Delver. Oh, good, Goyf. This is his Rug. It's gonna be a big Goyf because of this Eidolon sitting there. So we know the Delver's not flipping. This is kind of a tough spot. I don't really know if I'm supposed to just go after his head, because I've got 9 points of damage here, and if I can top deck... Yeah. I'm glad we see that Goyf on top, because otherwise I would have shot the Delver here. I just don't think that we can realistically raise this Goyf. I really don't want to use 2 spells on it, so... He might Brainstorm here to make it flip, so he probably doesn't have Brainstorm, which is good. If you are a Delver player in that spot, you should Brainstorm, because you need to race me. You don't really need to get value off of your cards as much. So there's Goyf. I assume the Delver is going to get busy for 1. And then maybe we'll see a Ponder here. So all we can really do at this point is play around Daze to the best of our ability. Like I said, I don't really know if I'm supposed to go after this Goyf. It just feels really bad if we get hit by a Force of Will, but I mean, we're probably losing to Force of Will being in this deck anyways. And we can't even play around Daze, actually, because we have Skewer in our hand. Yeah, I'm just going to go upstairs and hope that we draw... Perhaps our opponent has a fetch land or something like that, and then we can Prize of Progress them, or like we... have some chance of... Yeah, you should have Brainstormed last turn, man. Okay. Bolt's fine. Don't flip. Deal. What was I gonna say? Oh, Exquisite Firecraft, the one that we have in our deck would be nice. But, like, pretty much all of our draws here are live, as far as playing on Daze is concerned. Wasteland's kind of annoying. Mountain's kind of bad. I think I'm gonna hold on to this particular mountain, but I think we lose the game now. I think we had to hit something there more than likely. The opponent not having, if our opponent doesn't have another lightning bolt, we'll be okay potentially. Although, like, this Delver would have to not flip, and our opponent would also not have to have lightning bolt. And we also have to for sure hit something good here. I'll try Eidolon. I mean, we'll see what happens here. The opponent just has another Spell Snare in their deck for some reason. We're just gonna get blown out here. Although, like, even still, Eidolon just... yeah, we're dead. Okay, cool. Let's see. E-Bridge is pretty good against Tarmogoyf, although it's a little bit sad against Daze, and once they know about it, they'll just get us in other ways. I like Exquisite Firecraft. I'm not a big fan of Vortex against them because they do have cards like Daze. Price of Progress is very good against them, and I'm going to cut a Fire Blast. Eidolon is strange. I'm definitely taking it out on the draw because it gets dazed so easily and it grows their Goyf. That's probably already in play at that point. But going first, I think it's okay. Yes, they have Spell Snare in their deck, which is a problem, but I mean, you know, sure, we'll keep the sand since okay. I think if I decide to play on Thursday, what I'll probably do is I will probably... please don't have Delver here, just Ponder or something, please. Although I don't even know if I'm going after Delver. Yeah, probably not. Especially if I have Ensnaring Bridge in hand. I don't mind playing out the Eidolon here, because if this gets hit by a Daze or like a Force of Will, this is less likely to get hit by a Daze or Force of Will. And like our opponent isn't playing out Goyf now this next turn, so the Swift Spirit gets in for a little bit more damage probably. Please don't Blind Flip. Dang, we've definitely hit pretty well as far as the Delver triggers have gone. Second Delver would kind of suck. Assuming this is going to not shuffle, so this flip next turn. Chooses to not shuffle. Yep, so that's flipping next turn. Delver's gonna come in and hit, makes sense. Ooh, nice. One. So this Eidolon. I don't think my opponent has a stop right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this Chain Lightning. Like I didn't feel like my opponent had a stop set. Yeah. So hopefully this isn't a Lightning Bolt. Wow, his Delver didn't flip. Okay. Hopefully this is a Goyf or something, because then this Ensnaring Bridge will be pretty good. Okay, it is, in fact, a Goyf. You can see like how big this is because Tarmogoyf is in our graveyard right now. Kinda scary. I assume this baits out a Force of Will, if he has one. The next game I will be taking these out because I want my opponent to specifically bring stuff in for the E-Bridge. Yeah, man. The scary thing about this now is if we draw too many creatures, we have to play those out so that his Insectile Aberration can't attack, and it's like a pretty big maybe that we would draw that many creatures. But like, there's some world where we still get locked out under our own Eidolon here. Should be enough to kill him. Yep. So the opponent has to force a will there, basically. Or if they have like a Spell Pierce or something like that, or some other sort of counter magic, then like a blue elemental blast or something, they have to take some damage there. So just might as well go for it there, get the most damage out of the Eidolon. They have to have exactly force of will to like punish me. Definitely taking out Eidolon now. It's just going to feed the Goyf, basically. Guess I wish Goyf was blue. Bringing the Fire Blast back in, just so it does damage. Gosh, I might just need to leave the Ensnaring Bridges in. We just are taking out so much stuff. Maybe I'll leave in 2 Eidolons. It's just kind of like the same thing as Eidolon, in a way. Doesn't have any life gain, so doesn't really stop that. I just don't know if I want a Blue Blast or not. Maybe I do. Let's try one Blue Blast. I don't really like it, but it's something. Yeah, I mean, this hand does a lot of damage, so we'll definitely keep it. This is probably one of the better ones we've had. Plays around Daze okay. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have an Eidolon, or I mean a Goyf, but I mean they've kept their 7, and you guys have heard what I've said about keeping 7 and how absolutely scary that can be when you're playing Burn. So I like suspending the Riftbolt here. It plays around Daze for this turn and the next turn, and allows us to maybe go after this Delver of Secrets. If this flips and he doesn't have a Goyf or something like that, I think chances are I'm probably just playing out this Eidolon here. Even though it does play into Daze, especially if he's stuck on lands. And like, if he has a Bolt, then fine, you know. So this is kind of a weird ponder for him, because like if he hits a fetch land, it's really not that bad. Yeah, he'll just stack it to where he draws land and puts an instant or sorcery on top, and we'll kill the Delver with his bolts. It's just not shuffle, so yeah, that's probably what's happening. So there's the fetch land. Okay, so this is definitely going to go after this now. This Delver. Yeah, that's fine. That's the best that that's ever going to get right there, that Eidolon. Especially if he just plays like a Goyf next turn. So I'll see if he fetches here to get rid of whatever's on top of his deck. You know, he wants to draw it anyways. Might be a Bolt or something like that then. Or, yeah, because he's got another Delver. Definitely not liking where we're at with this. Kind of like going Chain Lightning upstairs, since he can have double red very soon, potentially. He probably won't have it actually available to him for a little while. Kill this Delver. I think I do have to just go after the Delver potentially. This is just so bad if he has a Goyf, or even a Nimble Mongoose. I think I can afford to wait a little bit longer and see how this plays out. I don't want to go after his Delver if he happens to have a Goyf, so we'll just see what happens. Opponents had a pretty good start, unfortunately. Hitting that Eidolon with the Daze was pretty good. I still think that was probably the best spot for us to go for it. So Delver is going to flip. Opponent's at 13. We have 6 points of damage in hand. It might fetch and go down to 12, which would be kind of nice. Let's see if this Delver flips. It does flip. We assumed as much with Brainstorm, though, I suppose, so... Let's do another fetch. Let's see if they play Goyf here. I'm really glad we didn't go after the Delver. Definitely just have to try to get lucky. We're going to play around Spell Pierce a little bit here. I doubt that they fetch this land ever. I'm trying to think if I'm supposed to go after the Insectile Aberration right now or not. Buys me a few turns if I do that. I still have the Ensnaring Bridges I can try to draw, but he has 4 cards in hand. I assume he probably has a Daze, a Force of Will, maybe a Spell Snare, maybe some sort of removal, like an Abrade. Abrade would make the most sense, maybe a Bolt. That's what I'm guessing his hand looks like right now. Could be a Spell Pierce. I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to go after his face now, or if I need to... I mean, I'm gonna take this damage, I think, so... Or if I need to play around Spell Pierce. Like, I don't know if I can play around Spell Pierce, is the big thing. Okay. That's interesting. Now I definitely want to play around Spell Pierce / draw. Is this true name? Oh, okay. Duh. Force of Will, probably. Oh, okay. Never lucky. Yep. Well, it's a sad league. Very sad league. Let's see if we were ever... Oh, I didn't draw my next card. You haven't showed it to me yet. Another mountain, another mountain, another mountain, another mountain. Wow, so we would have drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mountains in a row. Jeez. Well, that's unfortunate. That's how the cookie crumbles, though. I don't really know that we played that poorly or anything like that. There was definitely... I definitely punted a few different... in at least 1 or 2 different spots that I can think of off the top of my head, and I'm sure there's punts out there that I missed for sure. you know, and maybe I was supposed to take a couple different lines. Like maybe I was supposed to kill the Delver at some point there, just to give me a chance to top deck stuff. Obviously, like from what we just saw, it wasn't coming, but like that doesn't mean it's incorrect. You can't just say like, well, it wasn't in the top X cards of my deck, so therefore it was incorrect. You have to say what was correct with the information you have at the time, of course. But I mean, that's just how Magic goes sometimes. It's almost as much of a game of variance as it is of skill, and I'd say that a lot of it comes to I'd say the biggest factors in Magic are really just like variance and like how your deck matches up against another person's deck as well. So I'd say that like in general, Magic is probably less skill intensive, at least when you're playing like a quote unquote combo deck like Burn, because you're only making as many choices as you're able to make with the cards given to you. Compared to someone that's like using Brainstorm that actually does get to have a little bit more control over some of the variants. So that's just going to happen when you're signing up to play Burn. That's going to happen when you're signing up to play a deck that doesn't run Brainstorm. And even when you play Brainstorm and Ponder, you're still going to hit the negative side of variance pretty often. You know, if you brainstorm into more Brainstorms, that's bad. If you brainstorm into more Ponders, you know, that's usually not going to be great. So thanks for watching, guys. Sorry it didn't turn out the way we were hoping. We ran into a bad matchup here. Match 1 was Sneak and Show. Match 2 was Nick Fit, another bad matchup. We hit Eldrazi twice, came pretty close actually to winning some of the games there, but just hit the wrong side of variance, and then we came pretty close to winning this match here and hit the wrong side of variance. So that's just how it goes. The list overall felt fine, I thought. It's again, I don't like the Fire Blasts. I think that ended up hurting us pretty often. Kind of like what I was expecting to happen and what I've experienced in the past. I did miss the Light Up the Stages for getting us through some of the cards that were on top of the deck. It makes it a little bit less punishing, perhaps, to run 20 lands. Maybe we're supposed to be on 19, but it's just hard to like justify 19 when we're playing so much of Sulfuric Vortex, E-Bridge, Firecraft, and like we're trying to play around Daze in the instance of some of those cards. We're trying to play around Rashadenport, we're trying to play around Thalia, stuff like that. You know, you kind of want to be able to hit your third land drop on time to be able to play Sulfuric Vortex before they can OHKO you and stuff like that. So it's just, I don't know. I think 20 lands is probably fine. I think we probably drew too many lands a little bit too often in some of those spots, and that's just how it happens, you know. I don't know if our opponents really mulliganed very much in their second and third games and stuff like that. I think their opening hands were usually pretty good against us. And like I said, we put ourselves in a spot, like, in multiple games to where we had, like, 3 or 4 top decks to win the game, or, like, 2 or 3 top decks to win the game, and we just didn't hit any of them very well. So, that's how it goes. If you guys saw anything that I did that you didn't agree with, if you saw a different line that I should have taken or something like that, let me know. I definitely want to get better with the deck and play as optimally as I can. But I appreciate you guys watching, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks.